The legacy he had in Japanese wrestling, though, to be able to leave Baba, start your own thing. I mean, it was, and then involved in all those major moments. I mean, I think the whole Ali thing captivated everyone's attention. What do you think of that?
Well, he actually hurt Ali. You know that, right?
Yes.
I thought it was very boring myself to watch. I didn't care for it, but he kicked Ali's leg and he hurt him.
That would have been just a couple of years after you got in the business, right? Yeah, June of 76. Yeah.
Yeah. So I've been in the business for 4 years. That's probably right. It was right after the airplane crash. My airplane crash.
It's just amazing to me to think about.
Yeah.
You know,
but to go over to go to North Korea with him was to this day the worst trip of my life. But I did enjoy him, and we came back, and I'm trying to think of the island we went to where we wrestled again. Not he and I wrestled another one of the guys, a big time guy. There's an island there. I can't think of it. And we went to a big festival and all that, and I gave him a gold bracelet I had. I mean, I thought a lot of the guy. We'd never talked. We'd never even met. And the dressing rooms, of course, in that place were 80 miles apart. And Joe, the referee, said to me, he said, I think it was Joe was the referee, and it said, he says he trusts you. So I was being kind of a smart ass trying to make any humor. I said, tell him it's like riding on a Greyhound bus and leave the driving to me. I got that line from Larry Henning.
I love it.
Kid, pretend like you're riding on a Greyhound bus and leave the driving to me. We'd never talked, and some of the Japanese boys are guilty of hearing what they want to hear. But he could speak and he understood, and it worked out great. But it's strange, I mean, I look at it now, and I don't know. I don't think there's 5 guys in business that could have a match without talking about it first, because they haven't done it. Not that they couldn't, but they never had to do it.
Let's talk about the Ali bit for a bit. Meltzer had this to say: the most famous encounter was actually one of the biggest catastrophes in wrestling history, but should have been a shining moment for the business that possibly could have changed the very face of the business worldwide. Shinma and Inoki reached the deal to get Ali, the reigning heavyweight boxing champion and the biggest sports star in the world, to work a world boxing champion versus world wrestling champion match on what was billed as the Martial Arts World Championship on June 25th, 1976 in Tokyo. They got Ali through a $6 million offer, which at the time was more money than Ali had ever received for any of his previous fights, and because it was supposed to be a worked match, minimizing the chance for serious damage for Ali. So that's sort of the way it's laid out. A $6 million offer years before that's commonplace. And then, of course, we would see years later. I just want to contextualize this. I know when people talk about the first WrestleMania, they talk about Ali. That was 9 years after this.
Mm-hmm.
This is a big deal to have Ali here.
Oh,
I mean, maybe one of the biggest coups of all.
To have Ali in Korea?
To have Ali face Antonio Inoki.
Oh yeah, of course. I'm sorry. I started thinking about Korea because Ali went to Korea too, as you know.
Sure.
I'm sure it was. My God, I don't know if you guys remember years ago. I'm sure Conrad, because you're a sports guy, you'll remember this. The Archie Moore, who was, they say, pound for pound, one of the greatest boxers of all time, wrestled and boxed with Roy Shires, that promoter from California.
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
I do.
Yeah. And Archie Moore could have, very simply beat the hell out of me, didn't, but, and then I also, and I think I've told you that I traveled, because Joe had problems, Fraser, I traveled in Puerto Rico for 10 days with Joe and his wife, and he was wrestling Victor Javik every night and get beat by Victor. So I've seen a lot of that. I hate to see it at the end of their career when they end up with no money and have to do stuff like that. But I mean, Ali, I think the greatest thing you can say about Ali in this, I'm getting off the base of the Inoki for a minute, but a lot of people were upset, but when Ali carried the torch in the '96 Olympics, the one that Kurt was at in Atlanta, I mean, that was it. And when you got a guy of that kind of recognition over there in Japan, and he was like a god everywhere he went. I mean, we know that he fought in Zaire against Foreman, and I mean, you just can't say enough about him. He was a tremendous guy, and he did tremendous things. And I think that, like we both decided, or we both commented, I don't think the match was worth a damn, him and Inoki, but the fact that he was there made it huge. Yes, absolutely.
It's pretty amazing to think, that we had multiple instances where we could say that we had Muhammad Ali involved. And of course, in that era, this is around the same time that the movie Rocky is going to come out. And a lot of people think that's loosely based on Chuck Wepner. And Chuck had just wrestled Andre the Giant for the WWF.
Yeah.
Did you think that this was maybe the future of the business, these celebrity interactions, these big boxers as one-offs? I mean, Ali versus Inoki, Wepner versus Andre. Did you think that could catch on, or did you sort of see that as a sideshow spectacle back then?
I saw that as a sideshow spectacle. The coolest thing I ever saw besides, and it was really cool. Now that I'm with him all the time, we talk about it, but the thing that WWE did with Mike Tyson and Stone Cold and Shawn was the best. When Mike was still in really good shape, remember?
Right.
At WrestleMania, I mean, that was some good stuff. Brother, Mike's a machine. He's in good shape now. He'll hate me saying this, but that Jake Paul don't want nothing to do with Mike Tyson.
Oh no, I don't think so. Yeah.
They keep throwing that out there. One of the days Mike's going to say, yeah. Brother, he built like a brick shit house still.
Yeah, I don't know that I'd want to fight Mike Tyson ever for any reason at any age.
No, why would you?
No.
You think anybody messed around with him in the joint? I don't think so.
No.
Probably not.
So this Inoki Ali match we've been talking about did a 54.6 rating. A 54.6 rating. Not only that,
what's considered good?
I mean, if wrestling gets a 2.0, people are high fives right now.
Oh, 50. I'm talking about, I'm sorry, I didn't get what you meant. You're talking about rating on TV.
Yes.
Oh, wow. Okay.
54.6 million.
Oh my God. Did it really?
6 is the rating for Ali Inoki. And that's the afternoon feed because it's live there. But they did a replay that evening. The replay got a 26.3 rating.
Oh my God.
And even though the match is in Japan, there's 14,000 fans there at the Budokan Hall. It's an all-time gate record.
Yeah, I've wrestled there many times. But
they're still selling tickets here in America, so you can watch it on a closed circuit. That did $150,000.
And Ali only got $6 million for it?
I don't know that he even got all of that. Because
really?
As I recall, it was not a huge financial hit. But when it came to captivating attention, Ali and Inoki did the trick, boy. Woo!
So it was on TV rather than pay-per-view.
Yeah, I mean, that didn't really exist. You could go do closed circuit, but that was as far as it went.
Yeah. Wow, that's amazing.